Cleveland in the house, the time is right now. Strategic Moves Radio Show with Kenn Dowell. Time to motivate, inspire, and right now, this is what you need. And it's hosted by Kenn Dowell, art, politics, and culture. So let's go. Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell Radio Show. Let your voice be heard, time to elevate. Ay, call in or talk to me Tuesday. Ay, let your voice be heard, time to elevate. 95.9 FM, tune in and don't wait. What's on your mind Tuesday? Streaming on WOVU.org and 95.9 FM. You don't just listen, jump in and be the conversation. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You tuned in to another episode of Strategic Moves Radio Show with Kenn Dowell and Dr. Heather E. Burton. We do it live every Tuesday right here on WOVU 95.9 FM, right here in the heart of Cleveland, Ohio, on Kinsman Avenue. And guess what? I'm still celebrating America's 250th birthday. How about you, Uni? How you feel about our birthday? It's our birthday. Get busy. It's our birthday.
It's our birthday.
It's our birthday.
You know, I have many feelings about it. I have many mixed feelings about it. I was just grateful really to have that off time to spend with my family. I feel like that's most important, despite your feelings towards the holiday itself, towards the country itself, towards the behavior of those who run this country. At the bottom line, you get a couple days to get to chill with your family, to get to decompress. And I am a firm believer in taking advantage of those times, whether I agree with the holiday or not. So I'll leave that there.
It was our birthday. America celebrated 250 years. We that old, lots of stuff going on and everything around the country. People celebrating the 4th of July. Juneteenth was happening a month or two, or weeks or two before the 4th of July. Whole lot of stuff going on. But I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm going to keep it real. I didn't see a whole lot of black stuff going on the 4th of July, And when I say that, America celebrated its 250-year birthday, but I didn't see a whole lot of stuff out there that made me feel as if black folks had anything to do with it. It seemed like, I watched the, my wife wanted to go to the fireworks. I'm just really, and when the kids were small, I like to do it. But when they got older, man, it's a pain, man. You cook all day, you work all hard at home, and you get company coming over, and you work to get that going. Then at the end of the day, after everybody finally gets out of there and leave, you want to jump in your car and drive all the way across town to go sit in the parking lot with a bunch of people, look at some fireworks, and then get in that traffic to come out. It was just never fun for me.
It used to be a whole convoy of us going to see the fireworks when I was younger, and like the magic isn't the same. I was having a conversation with a counterpart of mine. They were explaining, I'm like, why the kids don't get excited about fireworks anymore? They be like, I don't want to go see the fireworks. They don't even be that nice. I remember it used to be so magical to me. And my friend was like, yeah, but they could watch fireworks on YouTube anytime now.
Well, it's a totally different. And speaking of YouTube things, so what I did end up doing is I ended up getting on YouTube and I looked up Donald Trump's 250 year, because that's our president, and America is supposed to be celebrating our birthday, and we supposed to have celebrations out there.
Yeah.
And what I looked up and what I ended up seeing was that Donald Trump and America had a celebration. They had it right there on the lawn. And when you look at all the films, I tell everybody, you should look at it. It's interesting. I looked at it, and it was thousands of people out there, believe it or not, because throughout the week, they was having issues. It was the funniest things. I was saying the ancestors was messing with them all weekend long.
I saw that a whole bunch of them ended up in the African American History Museum.
Yeah, they end up going to the
surrounded by the truth. Surrounded by the truth.
You can't ask for anything better. The first day, everybody fall out from heat stroke because it's so doggone hot out there. Nobody can stand it. The next day is a rainstorm and force everybody to run into the African American Museum and look at that stuff. They should have put them in there and just let Malcolm X just kept playing all the time they were in there.
I wonder if they had like one of those big screens, one of the big presentations as soon as you come
or better, yeah. just locked the door and wouldn't let them in. You know, you see that would have been a sight to see all these people trying to really get in and can't get in. That would have been true. But what they ended up doing, and
it would have been amazing if they would have made them prove their allyship for entry.
Yeah, you gotta prove
you got to prove it,
and you can't just be wearing. you just can't be wearing a flag on your T-shirt.
Yeah. You can't just say I got a black friend.
Yeah. You gotta do something better than that. You gotta show that you know somebody black. Where's your black card?
You gotta have a
black card,
honorary black card. You have
or show us your invite. Right, where your invite to the barbecue. If you ain't got an invite to the barbecue, you can't come in. But what they end up doing, I end up showing. We end up watching the fireworks from Donald Trump. So Donald Trump had the big celebration, and he couldn't get no real groups to come out there and perform. So they ended up getting. I like to say now they were dressed up like they were part of the armed forces, but I don't think they were the armed forces. I think they were one of those bands you hire for a wedding. What's those bands called, Latifah?
Cover band?
Yeah, it was a cover band, straight up cover band.
They sang everybody's songs.
They sung everybody's songs. Everybody's songs. Now they got into the program, and I'm like, you just cannot do this whole program without singing something black. I'm like, come on, as they started out hard, with the Stones and all the other stuff they could think of, and they doing all their cover band songs, and I'm listening to it, and I said, they really hate us this much, because I'm looking in the crowd. It ain't nothing but other people in the crowd. There's no people, no brown and black and brown, dark-skinned people in the crowd at all. I mean, not even in the background sweeping the floor. I mean, nobody in this whole thing. And you got to look at
get out of sight now.
Right, right.
The whitest white crowd ever.
Exactly. And this is America's 250-year birthday celebration, 4th of July. So when they get about maybe 10 minutes in, they finally start off with they hit a Prince song that they sung, Let's Go Crazy. Yeah, they hit Let's Go Crazy by Prince, cover band. That they stopped. Then they had to go to one of their oldie but goodies, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
So they
was
played
it Fantasy or
what was it?
Let's Groove Tonight.
No. Was it Body Yard? In September. They played September. So they did that September. They love that. Hey, but this would trip me out. They was playing all these girls was out singing all these songs that guys sang. And then when they brought out the white dude who came out, you know what he came out with? Their #1 hit of all times. The one that gets them going and gets them all percolating, and they can't help but dance on it. YMCA.
Oh yeah.
Now, what trips me out with that song there? Now, everybody know. I don't know about me, but when I hear that song, right?
It's like a big wedding. It
was just a big wedding, man. It was just a great big old wedding. They played the YMCA. And what trips me out with these MAGA folks, they so homophobic and transphobic, but they love playing that doggone YMCA song for whatever reason, man. So I don't know what's the hidden message behind that.
They ain't homophobic and transphobic, all like that. They on the outside, but behind closed doors,
they be on each other. They be on each other.
They be in one of Uni's dungeons. They on that dungeon.
They willfully walking into the dungeon.
The dungeon family.
Something ain't right with that. Something ain't right with that.
Don't think it's only black folks and black men that are in the what is it?
The dungeon?
No. Undercover.
In the closet.
In the closet.
Oh, yeah.
Under. It's something. When they playing straight, they're not. That's in every demographic. They messing on each other. Okay.
Well, they show played that, so it was just a great big old wedding. That's all it was. I don't believe those people were in the military. I believe they gave him some uniforms to put on because brother, his suit wasn't as tailored and tight as the military pants and everything is. He looked like
they don't
play about that. I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
no, you're not wrong at all.
Look at it. And here's the other part. And if you were going to go ahead and do that, and you were going to pull it out of the military, you're going to tell me it was not one sister, one brother in the whole military that can sing that type of music.
Brothers in the military be throwing down.
That's what I'm saying. Not one person In the military, so that was another thing that I looked at and said about America. And then they lit up the skies for about an hour. So I don't know if you was in DC. If you wanted fireworks, you got your fireworks, because they lit it up for about an hour. And after they lit it up so much, they said it was a Delta airline flight that was coming in that got hit with fireworks. It was all kinds of stuff going on in DC that day.
Oh my goodness.
But
they landed okay?
Everybody's okay. They landed, and everything, but it's like they was going through probably felt like they was going through a war or some kind of fight or something.
People on that flight. They probably traumatized.
They got to see fireworks up and close.
Real up and close.
So this is what I want to tell the viewers and everybody, because this is what I got out of that also. And this is why we're going to talk. And the Congresswoman just joined us, so we see you there, and we're going to get going with you in a hot second. Is that I was sitting there watching all of this, and I said, could we just imagine if the Democrats was in power? Can we imagine that at the 250-year anniversary of this country, that we were just all on the same page for a chance? Can you imagine the parties and how everybody would have felt in this country, knowing that, we were all on the same page? All this divisiveness, these wars, these uncrazy tax raises on gas prices and all the necessary stuff. We were all on the 4th of July. Everybody was at home doing kind of things like that, but you didn't really feel like you wanted to celebrate the country's 250-year anniversary of this country. Not if you were black in this country. I'm only going to speak from my perspective. I can't speak for nobody else, but for me. But I know, and I hate to always use him for an example, but I will. I know if Barack Obama was the president at 250, we would have not had no doggone cover band down there doing those songs.
Cookout, Jay-Z and Beyonce would have showed up.
We couldn't. They've been doing a concert for a whole weekend or maybe a week to get all of the talent and stuff down. Everybody would want to show out and perform. Can you imagine how things would be if Congress and the Senate and everybody was working together instead of this bull crap we got going with the Republicans and the Democrats down there trying to do something? A president that really cared and was celebrating the 250-year anniversary because of the fact of what it is. America is a nice place to be, a superpower in this world, and a place that all people want to come to and have a desire to live and be able to live and work out the American dream. So, but instead, what we ended up with a cover band. We ended up with maybe I don't know how many millions of dollars in taxpayer dollars we blew on fireworks and all the other festivities. A weekend where nothing went right, where people ended up in the hospital because they got heat stroke, and the next day they couldn't really do nothing because the ancestors said, if you won't leave with the heat, we're going to get you with the rain. And they tried to get them with the rain. It's just that type of air is going around the country and around the world these days, and it's really bad. It's really bad, and that's the time we live in. So it makes me really happy to know that we got people like Congresswoman Chantel Brown. We see you fixing your hair and all that. You're fine. You're all right. You got you. We've got Congresswoman Chantel Brown in the house, and she's going to talk. But what I want to do is we're going to take a really quick, this is going to be like 30 seconds. We're going to just check out to make sure she's on and we hear everything. And when we come right back, we're going to come back and we're going to talk with Congresswoman Chantel Brown about the 200-year anniversary of this country. We're going to talk about immigration. We're going to talk about also there's a birthday. The big ugly bill became a big ugly law. It's been a year. That thing's been living around the country for a little bit as well. So we're going to get into a few of those things when we get right back after this message.
Cleveland, this is your show, your topics and your voice. Join in for What's on Your Mind Tuesday on 95.9 FM WOVU. Call in or comment on social media. Let's make this conversation unforgettable. Streaming live on WOVU.org.
Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Support for WOVU comes from the Cleveland Office of Minority Health and the Cleveland Division of Air Quality. Did you know every minute that your car engine idles creates as much carbon monoxide as 3 packs of cigarettes? The Cleveland Office of Minority Health and Cleveland Division of Air Quality encourage you.
Hello.
car off when parked. City of Cleveland Ordinance 431.4
Thank you, Liberty.
prohibits idling your car for longer than 5 minutes. So when you're in the pickup line at school, picking someone up at the hospital, or anywhere you might wait in your car, turn the engine off. Breathe cleaner air. Save gas. Avoid fines. To learn more, visit the Cleveland Department of Public Health at clevelandohio.gov/public-health.
What's up, Cleveland? It's time to turn up the conversation. Tune in to the Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell Radio Show for What's on Your Mind Tuesdays. Call in, comment, and connect on 95.9 FM WOVU, WOVU.org, and hit us up on social media. Let's go.
All right. Welcome back to the Strategic Moves Radio Show with Kenn Dowell and Dr. Heather Burton. Today, we're going to talk about America at 250 years old. And the question is not how the country celebrated, but who got to celebrate it with it, and did their celebration really count for anything? We're going to talk to Congresswoman Shontel Brown about the Supreme Court ruling affecting Haitian immigrants, birthright citizenship, Trump's House Bill 1, and the big ugly bill, or the big ugly law, they're calling it right now. And we're going to get into that real quick because we know your time is always valuable. So, Congresswoman, before we get started and on our questions and getting going, how you doing and what's going on in your world?
Hi, Ken. Thank you for having me. Happy birthday to our homegirl, Kimberly Hodge. Today is her birthday, so I want to shout her out. That's what's up today, and just trying to, continue to fight for the constituents of Ohio's 11th congressional district and the people of the United States of America, because it's a constant battle.
It's always a battle. What's going on out here? So, Congresswoman, the Supreme Court ruling affecting Haitian immigrants is not just a legal issue. It affects families, workers, churches, schools, and the community. What should people understand about what that ruling really means for us?
Well, this is something you may recall that I talked about on the campaign trail, because Ohio's very own, now Vice President, then candidate and Senator J.D. Vance promoted a lie about the Haitian community, saying that they ate cats and dogs. And I warned people that this was the foundation of them being able to try to invoke this into future policy, and that has become the reality. Revoking the temporary protective status of Haitians is a dangerous precedent, because the country, the nation of Haiti, is not secure. It is not safe. The same environment that allowed them the TPS status, TPS still exists. And so to revoke that now only says to me one thing, and that is this administration continues to target certain people, and it is going to open up the floodgates and fuel the machine to try to just snatch people up. It's just going to give them the license to snatch people up. And the concern that I have is that you can't look at a Haitian and tell they're Haitian, or a Black American and tell that they're not Haitian. So this is a dangerous precedent that they are setting for all Black people. So I would just remind folks that this administration has proven that they're only granting temporary protective status to certain groups. They're getting white people out of certain countries and bringing them here. But when it comes to Black people who are already here under approved conditions, if you will, they're taking that away.
So when you say that, because I want us to break this down just a little bit, what do that really mean? That means if you here under a visa or something of that nature, they revoking that, or that means, what does that mean for the people when they ask, what do, because I know you got Cleveland here. I know I always tell you got your folks who all over DC and you travel, but our folks here actually believed that there was a screw in the gas pump that was charging us more money when we put it in our gas pump. So you got to break this down. I want you to really break this down. What does it mean when they say temporary, that they're taking away their rights as it relates to that? So
certain people can come from other countries that are unsafe, that are rampant with violence, where their government is barely hanging on. And that is the situation with Haiti. And the facts about that, the nation of Haiti, still exists. They have not changed, meaning there is no reason to revoke the temporary protected status of Haitians, especially when this administration is again offering incentives to get white immigrants to come to the United States. So it's a double standard at the very least. So that's TPS, temporary protective status. That is what we're talking about, making sure that individuals who are experiencing extremely brutal conditions can come over here and they can get what's called temporary protective status, allowing them to live here legally, to work here legally, because of the conditions of their country are so extreme and so dire. And now this administration has revoked that. They have taken that temporary protective status away. So if they find that you are a Haitian immigrant and you were not born here, so you don't have a birth certificate, you were here because you had TPS status, they can deport you.
And to your point earlier, that I want people to really understand is that, hey, as she said, you saw how they did ICE, and with everybody who they thought was Mexican or thought was illegal, they said you sound like it, you got an accent. They were doing everything. With this, like you say, black folks, you know, here we go. So go ahead, Congresswoman.
So that, I mean, that's the danger in all of this. That was the danger that I most feared on the campaign trail would become the reality. So their lies about Haitians eating cats and dogs already was the foundation to set up a fear factor of a certain group of people. And let's also be clear. Our Republican governor, Mike DeWine, has also indicated to this administration that the Haitian community, particularly in Springfield, Ohio, which was the target of the lies, have been very productive. Welcome people to the community because they are helping the community thrive and grow. But when that initial lie started, there were bomb threats to schools and churches. The Haitian communities shuttered their businesses and stayed inside. And so this is, again, just another fear factor tactic and the weaponization this government is using against certain communities. And too often those communities can, let me just make it plain, look like us.
That's the whole role. It's always been that way. What do you do as we roll out of this topic and get ready for our next one? What do you think Congress can do right now? Is there any legislation or anyone?
I'm so glad you mentioned that. So let me tell you. So I don't mean to cut you off, but I am excited because we did under the leadership of Hakeem Jeffries, we were able to utilize this method called a discharge petition. And the discharge petition passed the House, which means we got 218 members of Congress to sign on to a petition to force a vote on the floor to say, hey, this issue needs to come to the floor. We want to grant Haitians temporary protective status, regardless to what this administration has decided. Well, it has come out of the House. So now it's up to the Senate to prioritize this so we can make it become law. So the House has done its part. We have already issued the discharge petition, got the necessary signatures, forced the vote, passed it. And so now it's sitting in the Senate. So the Senate needs to take it up, prioritize it so that we can get this into the books on law, and then make sure that the Haitian community is restored its temporary protection status.
Oh, that's great. That's great. It seems like you guys got something y'all in front of it. So that looks like we should keep our eyes open and see what happens with that as it unfolds. That brings me to this question, and is who gets to recognize us as Americans in the first place? Congresswoman, the Supreme Court rejected Trump's attempt to restrict birthright citizenship. But the fact is that it got there in the first place should alarm everybody. So my question to you is, why should this birthright citizenship be so important?
Well, just to take it back a little bit, quite a bit, our citizenship was originally established under the 14th Amendment, because at one point it was Black Americans being told we would never be U.S. citizens. And I think it was 1857, the Dred Scott decision stated clearly that there were no paths to citizenship for Black Americans. And so in this country, your citizenship is what decides, what affords you the ability to vote. It's how you voice your opinion in your government. And it's what protects you from your government when your rights are violated. And without that, you become vulnerable. So it was the 14th Amendment, the law that created birthright citizenship, that would declare Black folks are Americans. Anyone who is born here is also a citizen and who has rights, and no president, no court gets to decide who is or isn't American. And let me also add this, the fact that that was a split decision, 6-3, is scary. It's concerning because it says that those 3 judges want to decide who is and who isn't afforded the privileges of citizenship and becoming and being an American. But to say that this is the case, those 6 judges that were actually right and siding with the Constitution and the 14th Amendment, it should not be a huge celebration. It's like celebrating that your refrigerator keeps your food cold. That's what it's supposed to do. That's what they are supposed to do. So this should not be a big win, but it should just be a reminder to people who are listening or watching that this administration continues to weaponize the government, and the fact that we are celebrating the most fundamental standards in our nation is indicative of how far we have fallen.
Wow. Do you really think this, as you say, do you expect this fight is going to continue? You think they haven't let up on it? It's going to be more to this?
Listen, if it's one thing that I know and respect about the Republicans, is that they don't quit. They do not stop. They are relentless in their pursuit of whatever their agenda is. Roe v. Wade, for example, voting rights, for example. These are things that have been long established law, but they just continue to push and push and push until they get their way. So no, I do not think this is the end. I think that they will continue to do everything that they can. We have an administration, more specifically a president in the White House, who has already been building up, establishing, or trying to set up a case to make if the results of the election do not go his way. And I say that very loosely, because I'm concerned if we will even have an election at the rate this president is going. So, and I don't say that to be hyperbolic, but when you look at his behavior, when you hear the things that he's been saying, when you go back to when he was on the campaign trail and said that if you do it this one time, you won't have to do it again. And he was talking about voting. Think about all the things he's been doing, how he had hundreds of agents descend here in Ohio's 11th congressional district to stop people, an organization that was simply registering people to vote. I mean, the number of things that he's doing, because the writing is on the wall, the policies are so incredibly bad and have been so damaging to the American people. And he has indicated he does not care. So I don't think that the Republicans have it in their DNA to stop. They will continue, and they will keep pushing.
You know what's really crazy about this birthright citizenship? He had interfered in the soccer match that was going on and went ahead and called them and told them he didn't like a call. I'm not into soccer, so I couldn't give you the details, but they said he got involved in that and was getting on the refs about what they did, and didn't just say something, he actually did something about it, which threw everybody in a frenzy. But what's crazy about it is that the guy that he is defending, the African-American that he's defending, is a birthright citizen for the United States. He was born here and his parents was born in a different country. So the stuff that he's fighting against, he actually went to the wall, all the way to the wall on the soccer team for a guy who he's trying to kick up out of the country. I mean, you just can't really make this stuff up.
Yeah, the man is crazy. But to that, can I just add to the fact that every time this man touches something, it just falls apart. It just goes downhill. Team USA was winning until he interfered. The Knicks have been winning until he showed up at the game. This is a man who America was on a path of progress until he got back into the presidency. Wow. 6 businesses, the reflecting pool, the White House East Wing. Need I say more? Everything this man touches falls apart. It's a metaphor for his leadership. The man he's bad news, and I'm just trying to keep it polite because we on daytime radio.
We on daytime radio.
Keep it polite. He's bad news.
Hey, so I got your buddy. She done graced us with her presence here this morning. Uh-oh, can't hear. Hold up one second.
I hear.
You hear me? There I am. Now I'm on. Hi, Congresswoman.
Hi, Dr. Burton. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Stressful morning, but I'm here.
We push through.
Yes, I was listening in the car though. I don't want to do like I normally do when I run in and I'm like, what they talking about? I listened in the car until I got here.
I can relate. I was able to clock in a little bit early today, so I caught a little bit of the tail end of the conversation. But before I have to jump off, I do want to talk about the big ugly law.
Yeah, that's where we was headed next. We was headed to the big ugly law. I'm gonna let you do your thing. My thing was I was just gonna talk about it's a 1-year birth of the big ugly law as well. We was fighting hard to try to get people to not do that and try to get Congress and other members, and I hate saying this thing about Congress because it makes it seem like that's all of y'all. I like to say those Republicans over there who was doing it because they were the ones who were stopping this thing from going through. But the Republicans who was the fathers of this big ugly law and everything, you would say, what's going on with that and how is that playing out in everyday life right now? You warned us again about what was going to happen with SNAP and other benefits and things of that nature. How is all of that stuff coming to fruition now?
The big ugly law, we're 1 year into it, and we are seeing Ohioans being adversely impacted in a major way. When we think about my district alone, I think thousands, and I want to get the number right. I think it's 50,000 people in my district, 450,000 Ohioans all over the state now struggle to feed their families. We've got 770,000 people across Ohio who can't afford to go to the doctor, and it doesn't stop there. So when these Medicaid reimbursements aren't no longer coming through for the hospitals, rural hospitals, our hospitals will suffer the most because more than 2.3 million who count on those rural hospitals will watch their doors close due to the largest cuts to Medicaid in our nation's history ever seen. And so it is just devastating impacts across Ohio. People are already struggling to pay for gas, goods, groceries, healthcare, households. And so this just added to that burden that the American people are currently experiencing. And so we will continue as Democrats to put forth policies that will lower costs. We want to, when we win the majority, and that's why this election is so important. When Democrats get back in power, we can really shift some of the things that this Republican do-nothing majority has done. I mean, they've done nothing to help everyday hardworking Americans. Everything that they've done has benefited the most wealthy, well-connected people in our country. And so cutting programs that help the most vulnerable to transfer those resources to the wealthiest and most well-connected is what my Republican colleagues are celebrating for this 1 year anniversary of their big ugly law.
Got some, Doc?
Well, no, I was just thinking, as Congresswoman was talking, I was thinking about, I can't wait to see the research that, because I was thinking about the book Dying of Whiteness, where it talks about how white people.
The doctor, what do you expect?
Quiet, Ken. Now you're gonna listen to my thought. You can't stop me mid-sentence because I can forget what I'm gonna say. But I was just thinking about, as you were talking, and the people that are affected, and how many people have been affected. How many people will still believe that he spoke truth? and that he spoke good. And that's what I was really thinking about as you were talking, because just how folks are brainwashed that even though they're suffering and even though they're dealing with these same things, they still don't see the wrong in this man.
Yeah, it is. It's very vexing. It's very vexing to me. I have, as a member of the Agriculture Committee, have taken up the mantle to visit rural communities, to talk to them, to see how they're feeling, and they're very upset about the policies. Rarely do they acknowledge that these are Trump policies, but they will say the tariff policies. Well, these tariffs didn't just pop up by themselves, right. But I'm just here. I'm trying to make friends, Dr. Burton. So I'm not trying to put salt in their wombs or kick people while they're down. But I think they do have to acknowledge that these policies are Trump policies that are causing them to suffer right now. And so I do think that there is some buyer's remorse there. But I think, to your point, or the point of the book, is that privilege is absolutely powerful. And it is hard to relinquish and really acknowledge that is someone who you and I'm speaking in the sense of those who are supporters of Trump, was someone who you believe would do good things for you, is hurting you. And it's and I try to be conscious of that when I am among Trump supporters, if you will, because no one likes to be insulted, right? No one likes to feel like they made a poor decision. And so I try to approach it from a position of, okay, how can we move forward? Where can we find some common ground so that we can get out of this situation that we're in? Because again, I'm not sure that telling people Trump is bad is the way, because some of these people knew Trump was bad
when they did it.
So that's not the answer. That's not the answer. We have to bring forth ideas and policies that will motivate people to show up for us as Democrats at the ballot box, and make sure that they understand that we are fighting for them, and that this so-called America First agenda is not what it was promised to be. And I think I heard somewhere, America First doesn't mean America only. We have to figure out how to also continue to be partners on the global stage, and making enemies of our neighbors like Canada and Mexico has not been helpful to our economy. I was with the folks at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They said the Canadian tourism is down. When this man, the president, insulted Canada, they said, okay, we can show you better than we can tell you. And so our economy is suffering because of the decisions that he made. But he's become a billionaire again while he's in the White House. So he's benefiting while the rest of us are suffering. While the rest
and he said he didn't care.
Yeah.
He said, I don't care. He said, that's part of what has to happen. I don't care if you're going to have to suffer. I know you got to go, but I wanted you to end us with this also. Before you get out of here, is the 250-year birthday. Is the birthday. How was the momentum and the feel in Congress and in DC? Because I know you're there a lot. I told everybody prior to this, can you imagine if the D's were in charge down there, if we had really good president, 250 year, it would have been such a big celebration around this country. Everybody would have felt it. Everybody would have wanted to do something. We would have celebrated, but instead it was like a bad wedding. Did you see it? It was terrible.
I was saying the truth. Go ahead, Dr. Burton, because I was not participating in that food.
What you call it, Latif? What kind of group was that they hired? What? A cover band. That's what it was. It was a
cover band in America.
A big cover band. They were singing cover band songs, and they sung 3 black songs.
If the D's were in charge, if VP Harris would have been the president, it would have been line dancing all over the country. You wouldn't have been able to get to DC because all the hotels, all the cousins' houses would have been booked. DC would have been lit. I mean, listen, but
and not just for Black people, because I don't want people to just say we're saying that because we're Black. No, I'm saying because the feel of
there would have been a different environment.
Would have been a progress.
This administration has been very divisive. It has been very polarizing. It has been very chaotic, very corrupt, and that has led to a feeling of not wanting. It hasn't led to being a celebratory moment for a lot of folks, right? And so I totally embrace that. I don't think that, if that's who was on the ballot. So that's why I went to Madam VP. She should have been the president. She tried to tell everybody that this fool was gonna do what he did, but I guess they thought we was playing, or we don't know what we're talking about. But here we are. So I think it would have been a much more celebratory environment. I certainly would have had a different feeling. And I mean, because this man has said that he has so many broken promises. He was going to lower the cost of gas, goods, and groceries on day one. Promise broken. Said that he was going to he was going to end wars. He started multiple wars under his leadership and can't end the ones that he said he would end on day one, notably Ukraine and Russia. And so it's just been a lot to what he did to the Kennedy Center, and then covered it up so that nobody could see that his name was taken down. The man is just so petty and so revengeful. I mean, this has been an administration of revenge, retribution, and retaliation, and that does not garner celebratory vibes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It does.
That's exactly it.
Exactly. Nobody felt like celebrate. Not at all. And it was just really, really 250 years. And they wanted to act like we had nothing to do with it. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I was just saying, who wants to celebrate 250 years with this divisiveness? I mean, the morale of the country is gone. I'm not even gonna say down. I don't even know if that's correct with using morale in the same sentence, but it is just so low that who wants to celebrate 250 years? I even forgot it was even July 4th. How about that?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
It was a lot of people who was like, oh, well, it's the holiday. A lot of people didn't barbecue. When you talk to people, are you barbecuing? They was like, oh, man, I'm going to throw something on. But it was no parties. It was none of that big stuff going on.
But I've been a non-supporter of July 4th for many years. So even
girl.
What'd you say?
Are you a Juneteenth girl?
I am a Juneteenth girl, and I still I had several friends who had Juneteenth cookouts on July 4th, but I wasn't in town, so I couldn't go.
I was rocking my Juneteenth free shirt on the 4th of July. That's how I've been rolling too, especially since it's become an official national holiday, Juneteenth. And so that's how I celebrate my Independence Day. And I think as a country we have to acknowledge that. And this is an administration who has been very intentional about rewriting history, right? And erasing our accomplishments, taking away DEI. And so it did not feel like an inclusive celebration for everyone. And he has made it a point to make it feel that way. And so I get it. Yes, this country is still one of the greatest. It is still the greatest. We just have a bad leader at this time. And so it does not diminish my love of my people. It does not diminish the love of the possibility that this country still holds for us. And so we have to embrace all of the possibility and potential that this country still holds, Dr. Burton and Kenn, because without it, we will continue to go backwards. Progress is not permanent. It is not promised. We have to continue to fight for it. So despite how we might feel, how we are feeling about this 250th year, we still have an opportunity to right the ship, to turn it around. So I don't want people to get too down, too out, too disappointed, too distraught over what's happening, because all of the things that this administration is doing is indicative of recognition of the power that the people hold. He's trying to take away our power. We still have it, and we have to hold on to it and garner it while we still have it. Because if it is up to him, we would not be able to vote. We would not be citizens of this country, but we still have that ability. So we need to make sure that we exercise it with every fiber of our being, and that we don't do it alone, that we bring somebody with us.
With us. Yes.
Congresswoman,
Yes.
I know where all the black people was at on the 4th
Where?
at the Abdullah Mason fight.
Hey, yes.
Quite a
Go
few people
Cleveland.
down there.
Go Cleveland. That's another shout out.
Yeah,
Shout
shout out to the champ.
Yes,
Defended his
yes.
title
Mhm.
on July 4th. So
Yes.
that's where we was at.
Congresswoman Brown, we want to thank you for coming on the program. You always do good as always.
Hey,
You
Chris
always-
Brown, the usher out there listening to us. Hey, y'all.
Yeah, hey, yeah. I'll see y'all tonight.
Yeah.
I won't see y'all, but
I
hey,
was gonna say, you going?
hey, I ain't got that kind of money. Hey.
Yeah, them prices was steep.
Dr. Burton will be down there doing her thing with the
Down
rest of
here,
them.
Dr. Burton, send me some videos.
That's what happens when you got last minute tickets. You wait to the last minute and then you get a good deal.
Oh,
Last minute deal.
that's the tips.
That's the tip.
The tips.
But that's, then you take the risk of where may I be sitting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Standing.
But you're gonna be there.
Oh, I got a pretty good seat.
I might
Yep,
have
I'll
to
be
text
there.
you afterwards. Hey.
Well, I was gonna go in Detroit. I was gonna go in Chicago. But I was like, you know what? If I decide to go, I'll decide last minute and go in Cleveland.
Well, have fun.
Michael
Have
Brown,
fun.
thank
Be
you.
safe.
Thank
That's
you,
gonna be a major banger. Enjoy. That will make up for all of the things that didn't go right for the 250th, I'm sure.
Right.
If Kamala had been there, we might have saw Chris Brown and Usher on stage.
Right.
Never know.
Beyonce, you too. I mean, all of everybody, Bruce Springsteen, they would have all been trying to come to the party.
Yes. Well, Congresswoman, I want you to stay safe as always. Make sure you keep your head on the swivel and keep those people away from you who's trying to hurt you. Till next time, we'll see you next month. She comes on every second month of the first Tuesday of the month. So we'll see you next Tuesday. Congresswoman Chantel Brown. Dr. Burton.
Yes.
You've been gone.
Kenn Dowell.
MIA.
I came back last week.
Yeah, I know. Well, you tell us where you've been and what's going on. We got a little bit of time left here, so I want to know.
Kenn want to be all up in my business.
Why you sound mad?
What's you out there?
Like, where you been? What you been doing? Who you been with?
Yeah.
Give us an update. What you been doing?
Well, this past week, actually, I was in Detroit for our Midwest Regional Delta conference. So I was there from Wednesday through Sunday, celebrating with the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It was our 100th, our centennial celebration for the Midwest region. So, that's where I was. Had a great time. Got to hear Jotika 80 on. That's the one who started Win with Black Women. When Kamala, with Vice President Harris was running, and 42,000 women came together on video and then raised all the money.
Raised the money. Right.
She was the leader behind that. So got a chance to hear her speak at our social action luncheon. Yeah, so that's where I've been. I had to preach on that Sunday at our ecumenical service.
So that was a service you guys put on yourself?
That's a service that we put on.
Okay.
And it's open to the public, but we put it on. Byron Cage performed, gospel artist Byron Cage, ministered in music, and then I brought a message from the Lord.
What was your message?
I preached on favor ain't fair. Proverbs 31:30.
Favor ain't fair.
Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised.
So one more time, what was that? That sounded a little contradicting to me.
Favor ain't fair.
So favor.
Talking about God's favor.
It's not fair.
Ain't fair.
Yes. Everybody don't get it?
No, it's not that everybody don't get it, but it's based on God's discretion.
So that means everybody don't get it.
So what I get may not be what you get. Don't mean that you ain't going to be blessed, but your blessing may not look like my blessing. So don't get upset by my blessing, just like I shouldn't get upset by yours.
So everybody don't get it.
No, everybody do get it.
Just in their own way.
Just in their own way.
Everybody doesn't
Kenn,
require
we're not entertaining Kenn today. Where Kenn making stuff up.
I mean, you just said it ain't fair, so I want to make it fair.
Favor ain't fair, because what fair means, think about this. Let's think about it from a Black perspective too. Let's think about it from an economic perspective. It's fairness means that everybody is getting the same when we think about fairness. But in reality, everybody's not getting the same. You're getting what's best for you when we talk about from God's perspective. So your best may not be my best, and my best may not be your best.
I when you say it that way, I can agree.
Yeah.
So maybe it shouldn't be that it isn't fair. Maybe it should be something else.
But it ain't fair.
That's what I said. It's not fair.
But it ain't fair. Think about it. But it ain't fair.
So it
don't mean it is equal. There's a difference between having favor and equalness versus it being favor for you.
I think when you hear that, Ken, you're putting a negative context on it when you think being fair. Whereas if I don't require what Doc requires, it's okay for me to get less because I require less. It's like when you have a side chick and she only gets a certain amount of time from you because she does not require all of you. I'm just saying.
Is God's favor compared to a side chick situation?
I don't think we're.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just trying to put it in terms you can
He's trying to just make it relatable. See, Ken can understand it now. Make it relatable.
You got to make Ken understand. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. We're making it relatable for Ken to understand.
Jesus Christ. So how did it go? So everybody, I guess they felt.
Yeah, everybody was blessed.
You did a couple of messages. Didn't you? You preached there. Where else you preached?
I preached
because you was gone
there
for a month. You was out doing your thing.
So I preached in Houston in what did you say? You need 4 minutes or 4
years?
For how long I was gone? 4 weeks. So
yeah,
I was gone. I think
she was gone forever.
So I went from Houston. I think I said that last week. So I preached in Houston, Memorial Day weekend, and then from there I went to Canada for a Delta Authors on Tour where we featured my book. I'm Single, So What? So
how's the book going?
The book is going well. That book is going well, and student success. It's interesting that there is a revisit to I'm Single, So What? So I wasn't even expecting that revisit, especially with the new book, but they wanted to feature that book. So I went and did a talk at Toronto Metropolitan University. That's why it's interesting when, Congresswoman was talking about Canada and our relationship is, talking to folks in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, they talking about us.
Really?
Like, yeah, they had a lot of, opinions, but I happened to be at Toronto Metropolitan University and did a talk there on whatever day that was. And then the next day did a panel discussion with April Ryan, myself, Victoria Christopher Murray. And I always say how Victoria Christopher Murray is if you know the Lifetime movie, 7 Deadly Sins from Lifetime.
I'm sure Yvonne knows.
Yep,
it.
she knows them. The Lust, the Greed. She's the person behind those books. So her and then another author. See? 7 right all on Uni's body, but we're not gonna. I don't know if Uni want to put it on camera for y'all, but
yeah, she got a big old tattoo on her. Say 7 seals.
I'm gonna get 7 holy attributes as well.
I love that.
It's about balance.
You got the 7 deadly sins
She got
tatted
the
on you.
7 deadly sins tatted on her.
So we gonna talk about that in a minute, Uni. But then we had another author out of Chicago, Dr. Watkins. Now, Uni, I got to come back. Sorry. In these last 2 minutes that we had,
Go ahead.
Please help me and the audience to know. Y'all didn't see the tattoo. Now, that's some wonderful work. It's some great work. But I don't think we can actually show it on camera right now. But tell me the why.
The why, again, for this side on my left side, I feel like is the side that troubles me. On my right side, I feel like is my more gracious equivalent side, but they both need to be balanced. Whereas why my unk over my belly button, over my womb, eternal life goes up into my lotus flower and my mott feathers, which again, balance and honesty, which lead into the 7 to my left. Those are just attributes I try to remind myself to stay away from. When I get the mirrored 7 on my right side, those will be the attributes that I will remind myself to always exhibit.
So what we're going to do is we are going to one day take a picture of Uni and then just crop out some stuff so y'all can see these stats.
Y'all see this? Woo! Everybody get tattoos for a reason.
That's heavy.
Everything I got has a meaning. Everything. I got self-discipline on my arm. I got hate, love, fear, God. hate, fear, love, God. It's like one of those
Yeah.
puzzle pieces. I could go on and on for my tattoo, but for that one specifically, it has a lot of depths to it. And I thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Unicorn has a lot of tattoos. Doctor, you got a couple of tattoos.
Yeah, I have a few.
Yeah.
I have a few, and they all have meaning, like unicorn said, like uni. I don't know why. I do know why I had a congestion. The reason that I was late with this leak in my place that is now irritating me. But yeah, I have tattoos, and I'm like her. Mine all have meaning. I got them for purpose.
I can't stand to get stuck. I go to the doctor to give blood. I have to sit there and go through a whole thing. I was never good with needles, so I definitely ain't gonna sit there.
I can take needles and I can watch you do. What I can't take is sound. So if I can hear things like the drill when they drill in your teeth and stuff like that, or cracking your neck at the chiropractor, it's the sounds. I stopped getting my eyebrows threaded because I could literally hear it. Yep.
Ew,
That's my favorite part of piercing, though. Like hearing the
sound,
needle go through the flesh, the different layers of the flesh, like hearing that crunch. That's my favorite part about being a piercer. I love it.
What?
I don't know why.
Hearing the crunch.
Right.
Hearing the crunch.
No.
I want to hear.
I wanna hear
I don't think I knew you were a piercer.
Yes, I'm a lot of things. You know, I
Right.
live a lot of lives.
I see.
I'm a notary as well. If you need that, I got you. I got you.
And she got that dungeon for you.
So you can get,
doctor,
you can get
you ain't here when she talked about her dungeon. So that's a whole nother
we
show.
got, we got
y'all.
a dungeon too.
This girl got
So we can get pierced while getting our documents signed in the dungeon.
in the dungeon.
In the dungeon.
Hold on, she notarized in that form before you go in the dungeon.
Right. So we got some 7 shades of gray going on over there.
Oh man.
Not yet. I don't know what the T talk about, but I mean, he might be talking into and fruition for me. You got some clients for me. You know, I'll give you a finder's fee. I got you.
No, I can't be your agent on that one.
So that is Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell and Dr. Heather Burton. She is back. Next week, she's going to get something going. We're going to have her do a show. I've been trying to get you to do your show on your book, and I think you ought to do one. Hey, have you did a book signing here already for that?
No, I need to. I ain't been still long enough.
Yeah, you should do a book signing.
So my plan is to get stuff going, really to kick this off. Student success to really kick things off in August. And I think I've been so focused on doing stuff for student success out of the city that I do have to do something at home.
All right, Dr. Burton, Kenn Dowell, thanks for listening to us. Congresswoman Chantel Brown gave us a lot of information as always. Until next Tuesday, peace.
What's on your mind this Tuesday, Cleveland? Let's talk art, culture, politics, and business on the Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell radio show. Call us on 95.9 FM WOVU. Stream live at WOVU.org or comment on our social media. Let's hear from you.
This is Strategic Moves with Kenn Dowell.